엔비디아 지금 주가가 좀 많이 떨어져서 많은 사람들이 이제 좀 고민을 좀 많이 시작했죠.
그쵸.
예. 실적은 나쁘지 않았다. 그런데 주가가 좀 많이 떨어졌다. 좀 어떻게 생각하시는지 주가에 대해서 좀 여쭤보도록 하겠습니다.
We just mentioned of Nvidia, so I just wanted to ask them more about it. After Nvidia's earnings report, the result wasn't bad, but the market reacted really badly. Like last week, Nvidia losses have led to a ratio of nearly $280 billion in the market cap. I know currently Nvidia dominates the infrastructure layer of AI today, but how do you view the Nvidia stock in the future now?
Well, first of all, let me comment on last week, and I said this comment elsewhere, and I'll mention it to you as well. The problem with Nvidia right now is there are so many people who are invested, small investors all over the place, and you've got people doing all kinds of futures and other bets on where it's going to go. That to think that people would react or that the market would react in a rational way, not possible. It was completely irrational. It was completely emotional and had nothing to do with logic at all. It was purely emotional because too many people were involved. They were watching it too closely. So, I mean, you have to remember that the stock market is not always logical. Many times it is much more emotional. And so the problem with that NVIDIA earnings was people's expectations were all over the place. I don't think they could have done anything that wouldn't have triggered some kind of negative reaction because somebody's going to find something, that they could have pointed a finger at. However, what I would say is, I think in the long run, NVIDIA is still in a very strong position. I do see AMD getting much stronger, and I think we'll see other companies start to get stronger. And the other thing to remember about NVIDIA is we are reaching a point where, the rule of big numbers. When your numbers are very big, it's very hard to keep growing at the same rate. And people got spoiled when they had, growth rate numbers that were huge. The growth rates will shrink. The absolute numbers will, of course, grow, but not at the same pace because the numbers that they're hitting are so big. The other challenge, of course, is, and I know I'm sorry, I'm saying too much to translate. I apologize. The other problem is, I think because of their dominant position, and we've started to hear rumblings of this in the EU and in the US, regulatory concerns. Will there be someone saying they have a monopoly and this is not good and we want to prevent this? So it hasn't happened yet, but there's a lot of those concerns. And of course, people will make stock price decisions and purchase decisions based on the rumors of those kinds of things. So
일단 저번 주 시장부터 먼저 언급을 드리자면 비이성적인 시장이었다. 그러니까
Yes.
정말 많은 기관, 외국인, 개인들이 다 거기에 들어가 있었기 때문에 뭔가 이성적으로 뭔가를 판단하기에는 좀 불가능했고, 그래서 어떻게 보면은 실적 이후에 시장은 어떻게든 허점을 하나 잡아서 끌어내리려고 하지 않았나 싶었다. 그리고 AMD 같은 경우에도 자기가 보면은 꾸준히 성장하고 있는 모멘텀을 보고 있기 때문에 엔비디아도 거기에 있어서도 계속 성장성을 의심하지는 않다. 그리고 독점적 이슈,
반독점법.
그게 있었는데 거기에 대해서도 그게 조금만 자잘한 이슈가 있긴 했지만 그게 크게 영향을 주지는 않을 것 같다라고 했거든요. 전 여기서 브로드컴에 대해서도 한번 여쭤보고 싶은데.
좋습니다. 한번 어떻게 여쭤볼 건가요?
AMD는 일단 실적이 좋고 계속 올라갈 거다라고 했는데 브로드컴 같은 경우에는 마이너스 10%나 빠졌단 말이에요. 그래서 이게 과연 정말 AI가 버블이 없이 계속 우상향하는 건지.
Well, I mean, again, everybody is trying to find the next NVIDIA. And so they're making, first it was going to be AMD, and then it was going to be Broadcom, and then it was people are looking as if this is something that can be replicated easily. It can't. NVIDIA is in a very unique position. You can't just expect that someone else can all of a sudden do the same thing. It's created an unrealistic expectation, back to my comments earlier. And so people are viewing it and they somehow think that there's going to be some sort of magical way to do this. The simple truth of the matter is NVIDIA got both lucky and smart they were both at the same time. And they got in early, and in building the CUDA software, they created something that everyone wants to use. And as Gen AI started to hit, everybody said, oh, well, this is the tool I have to have. Now, people are seeing how well NVIDIA is doing, but they're also recognizing they want there to be competition. So you're going to see, as I said, AMD. I think you'll see others that start to do it. Broadcom is a little bit different because, they don't make their own chip. They design chips for Google and for Amazon and for Microsoft and for others. So it's a little bit of a different animal. I mean, it's a part of the overall ecosystem, but it is a little bit different. And I think you have to take a big picture perspective on this and think about other factors that are going to be there. I think you will see Microsoft and Google and Amazon continue to be very important in this. And then I have some other comments, but I'll stop there for now.
다른 기업들이 과연 엔비디아를 대체할 수 있을까라고 생각했을 때는 반복적으로 이야기하시는 부분인데 아직까지는 엔비디아가 정말 독점적인 지위를 유지하고 있고 이게 매직처럼 그냥 한 번에 뭔가 복제가 돼서 하루아침에 되는 게 절대 아니고 단지 엔비디아가 행운도 운도 좋았고 그리고 좀 똑똑한 나머지 다른 사람들에 비해서 다른 기업들에 비해서 그래도 조금은 더 일찍 시작할 수 있었고 그러다 보니까 시장 점유율도 더 많이 잡게 됐고 그래서 사람들의 수요도 거기에 맞게 많이 증가를 하고 있고 브로드컴 같은 경우에는 사실 구글, MS 등 칩을 디자인을 해주고 있는데 이게 지금 엔비디아와는 성격이 조금 다르고 생태계 안에 있지만 엔비디아와 일치하는 성격을 갖고 있다라고 하기에는 좀 다르다고 이야기를 합니다.
저는 이제 이번에 그 사업 보고서를 그 컨퍼런스 콜을 봤더니 그로스 마진이 이제 4분기에 70% 초반 정도로 떨어지는 것처럼 보이더라고요. 이제 이게 주가 하락의 요소가 된 게 아닌가. 그로스 마진이 이제 낮아지는 이유가 무엇인지랑 이제 블랙엘이 내년에 나왔을 때 이거를 극복할 수 있는지 좀 이걸 좀 알고 싶어요. 예.
On the conference call for NVIDIA, he saw the growth revenue going down. He wants to know why this is going down and also if Blackwell can cover this up.
Well, I don't know if Blackwell will cover it up, but there's still huge demand for Hopper, let alone Blackwell. And Blackwell is going to continue to drive more business, but it's getting harder and harder. So the design process, they've said, they've got to spend more on research and development. R&D is very important. So that's going to cost them. There are a lot of other factors that are going to increase their costs as they develop this technology. I think Blackwell is going to do very well. Here's a bigger point, and this is what I started to mention that I wanted to get to, is right now, most of the business for NVIDIA has been to the big cloud companies, to AWS and Google and Microsoft. What has just barely started is selling to enterprise businesses, to regular companies, right? To sell for Samsung to have in their own data centers, for other Korean companies to have, for US banks, for other big US companies. They're all starting to build their own AI data centers because they want to do some of this work within their own environment. That's a huge opportunity for everybody, not just NVIDIA, but clearly NVIDIA has a lead there. And one of the interesting things to watch with NVIDIA is now they've started to develop software tools, not just CUDA, but what they call NIMs. And that's designed so that if I am, say, Coca-Cola, and I want to do my own project, and I can now use some of NVIDIA's software tools to create the applications that use their own data, because maybe they have very proprietary data that they don't want to put into the cloud. And so they're going to build these applications. So that, to me, is the most interesting opportunity to watch when it comes to Gen AI across the board. And I think that's why I still feel like, even though we've had some, concern around Gen AI and is it a bubble and what have you, I don't think so. And this is the reason why, is because we've just barely started the enterprise Gen AI movement. And I can say this because one of the things I do as an industry analyst is research. And I am finishing a report that'll be publishing in a few weeks, surveying 1,000 companies. It was done in the US, but to look at what they're doing, and a huge percentage of them want to do more of this work, the Gen AI application work, inside their company. So again, that to me says we have a long way to go on interest in Gen AI.
리포트 수백 개의 기업들을 가지고 어떻게 이들이 AI로 어떻게 Gen AI를 활용하고 싶은지에 대해서 리포트를 조만간 낼 거라고 하십니다. 직접 조사를 하고 연구를 하셨는데, 그래서 더욱더 신뢰가 가기도 하는데, 가장 중요한 거는 일단 뭐 블랙엘, 아마존, 구글들 등처럼 정말 큰 기업들이 이미 AI 관련돼서 칩을 사용하고 있었지만 자기의 데이터를 이제는 작은 중소형주들, 그리고 삼성, 그리고 다른 나라들의 기업들도 각자 자기의 데이터 센터들을 하나씩 만들어 나가고 있다. 이게 핵심인 거예요. 그래서 큰 시장에 작은 시작일 뿐이고, 이게 더욱더 퍼지게 되면은 엔비디아가 차지하고 있는 이 시장 점유율은 지금은 정말 빙산의 일각밖에 되지 않을 거다라는 거고, 소프트웨어까지도 이제 엔비디아가 참여를 하고 있는데, 뭐 쿠다 말고도 님들은 소프트웨어로 앱을 만든다고 할 때 이런 부분들이 아무튼 더 크게 작용이 되기 때문에. What was the name you mentioned about? Was it NIMD?
NVIDIA, relatively new. They announced a few months ago, and it's basically their containers. If you run it in a Kubernetes environment, for people who want to dive into the technology, but the idea is it makes it easier for organizations to, if they say want to do their own in-house chat assistant, so like a AI-powered chat, they have a tool that they've already created, and then you can take the information, say, for your company's products or whatever. So if Hyundai wanted to build something for people who own their cars, and they wanted to do one in Korean and one in English and one, but they wanted to do this, they didn't want to do it in the cloud, then theoretically they could get a chatbot NIM and then customize it with their own data and start to build an application. That's an example, of something that you could see companies start to do.
쿠다 말고 님들하고 새롭게 나온 게 있는데, 이게 예를 들어서 하나의 기업이 다른 기업에 뭔가를 수출하려고 하거나 엮어서 하려고 할 때 그 클라우드를 굳이 쓰지 않고 싶다면은 자기들만의 챗봇처럼 안에 그 소프트웨어를 사용해서 그거를 자기네들이 또 커스터마이즈를 해서 그거를 이렇게 보급화할 수 있는 그런 방식이래요. 그래서 이런 소프트웨어까지 이제 얘네가 점령을 하기 시작하고, 그리고 작은 중소기업들도 자기만의 데이터 센터들을 만들기 시작하면은 엔비디아가 앞으로 필요할 일은 훨씬 더 많아진다, 이런 거죠.
좀 이렇게 길게 보시는 거네요.
그렇죠.
그러면 이제 제가 질문 드렸던 건 이제 그로스 마진이 왜 떨어지는지 그거에서는 대답 안 해주신 거죠.
Why is the growth revenue going down?
Because it's so big. You can't maintain that kind of growth when you start here and you can grow fast, and then once you get here it's very hard. You can't go like this. You can't see my hand, sorry, but at some point in the US we say the law of big numbers. It just catches up to you and you can't maintain those growth rates, so it's very difficult to do that. I would not read that. I don't view that necessarily as a bad thing. I think that's just the reality of how big they have grown. Again, people are not looking at this rationally. They are too emotional. They're getting too excited about, wow, look at this growth rate and this growth rate and this growth rate. You can't do that forever. Nobody can do that forever.
엔비디아의 수익성이 왜 계속 낮아지는지에 대해서 물어봤는데, 거기에 대해서 지금 보통 우리가 뭐 100등이 50등 하기에는 진짜 쉬운데 3등이 1등 하기엔 더 어렵잖아요. 그런 것처럼 엔비디아가 어쨌든 정말 이미 너무 많이 올라왔고 성장을 했기 때문에 거기에 있어서 조금씩 둔화되는 거는 어쩔 수 없다. 그런 측면에서 바라보고 있는 것 같습니다.
그러면 이제 사람들이 기대는 지금 되게 하이한데 지금 이렇게 조금씩 이제 기대치를 당장 못 맞추는 것들이 나오기 시작했잖아요. 그러면은 지금 사람들 기대감이 때문에 주가가 좀 하락 요소가 될 수 있지 않을까? 이건 어떻게 생각하시는지.
So I know the gross revenue is going down because Nvidia fundamental is good, but because it's grown so big and the stock market isn't rational enough. But despite all that, we still know that because people estimate and want to what do you say? They look forward to Nvidia so much that no matter how much they show, they kind of like feel, this is all they reveal. It's like, so, and because of that, the stock market does go down. So like, he wants to know about those rhythms.
I don't know. I don't think nobody knows why. It's very difficult to say. What I would say is this: the fundamentals behind their business are still the same, and that, in my view, means that in the long run they still have good opportunity. Now they will get more competition, and that's going to be an impact. At some point, we will see competition start to impact them because other companies, want to work with more than just NVIDIA. Nobody wants only one supplier. They want at least two suppliers, maybe three suppliers. And that's why I think you'll see a lot of focus on AMD, and their latest parts are getting to the performance levels of NVIDIA, and there's more work being done on the software. So I think, that is one concern. And again, as I mentioned earlier, I think another factor could be that there is concern that regulatory environments would kick in. And so what would that do to the stock? Because if there are regulations and NVIDIA is subject to that, then obviously that could impact their sales potential. But still unknown. But again, these are the factors that go into people's brains. And again, the other thing is NVIDIA has become something that, a year ago, most people didn't even know who they were. They had no idea. And so you have a lot of people who've jumped in and like, oh yeah, and they don't really understand the fundamentals of the market. And so they're making buying and selling decisions of the stock without really fully understanding, because it's very complex. The semiconductor market is extremely complex, and understanding all the pieces, and in particular, then you add in the Gen AI layer, it's very hard to really figure. I mean, my job is to do this, and it's even, I have a hard time keeping track of all the different pieces and how they interconnect. So I wish I had a better, more succinct answer, but it's, it's just the way it is. It's tough. It's hard to, to see that. But those are, like I said, the big factors: competition, the other regulatory environments, and the law of big numbers together, to me, are the explanation.
One last question about NVIDIA. So I have NVIDIA. So should I keep it or buy some more?
I don't do stock recommendation. I tell you, fundamentally, I do believe there's still plenty of growth, as I described, for the enterprise business and for other things. And, some of the NIMs, the software I mentioned, NVIDIA has had almost zero revenue from software. This is going to be new revenue for them in software. So that becomes an interesting opportunity.
지금 1년 전까지만 해도 사람들이 사실 엔비디아에 대해서 많이 몰랐는데 지금 이제서야 아는 사람들도 있고, 그리고 펀더멘털을 모른 채로 이 시장에 대해서 매도하는 사람들이 많고, 그리고 젠 AI까지 여기에 더해진다? 그럼 더더욱 시장이 복잡해지고, 자기도 여기에 대해서 연구를 하고 있지만 그럼에도 불구하고 자기도 너무 힘들다, 어렵다. 그래서 이거를 이성적으로 얘기하기는 좀 한계가 있는데, 그럼에도 불구하고 좀 희망을 찾자라고 하는 거는 지금 소프트웨어 부분에서 수익이 0이라고 해요. 근데 이게 지금 소프트웨어 부분을 엔비디아가 조금씩 만들어가고 있다고 했잖아요. 시작을 했고. 그래서 여기에 대한 기대치를 거는 게 굉장히 크다.
우선 투자자들이 블랙엘에 좀 관심이 많은데 이제 좀 고민이 그런 거예요. 발열. 그냥 발열, 그러니까 1000W가 넘어가거든요. 그러면은 이제 순행식으로 냉각을 해야 되는데 이제 지금 그동안은 다 공냉식, 공기로 냉각을 시켰어요. 근데 이제 블랙엘이 와서 순행식을 하게 되면은 비용이 많이 들어가니까 기업들이 이거에 대해서 좀 더 부담스러워하지 않을지 아니면 엔비디아가 그냥 발열을 잡을 수 있는 방법은 없을지 예, 여기 좀 궁금합니다.
People are concerned about AI heating problems. So if it has a lot of heating problems, they will need a lot of electricity and the cost effect will go up. What are your thoughts on this?
It's a great point, and it is a very serious concern because if you map out the growth rate that we're currently at and the demand that's expected and the amount of power in the electrical grid, it's a problem because all of a sudden you already have data centers using a couple of percentage of the world's power just for them. And these chips keep taking more and more power. So that is absolutely a concern. So, you know, people are looking at, obviously, are there lower power ways to achieve the same thing? And that's where, you know, a lot of startups are working and a number of companies to try and figure out something. I'm sure NVIDIA has many projects in their R&D labs looking at exactly that. You're also seeing a lot of changes in the nature of how these AI models are calculated and run. So you're seeing the move from what's called large language models to small language models. And you're getting better and better results with small language models, which means you can get more done with the same amount of computing. And so that will help. And then, of course, we talked about it a little bit before, on-device AI. So if all of a sudden, you know, I can do some of my work on the device, then that's a little bit less than in the cloud. And so I think you're going to see a combination of these things, but that's a very, very big issue. And you see some people saying because of that, they're looking at, you know, tracking the energy industry because they want to know new sources of energy for that. So it's a big question. Again, there's not an easy answer to that. It's not an immediate issue, but within a few years, it's definitely going to be a factor. So that's something that, you know, a lot of companies are working on. And I think you'll see incremental improvements in the efficiency of the chips, in the software and it being able to do more with less, and in spreading out the work across more devices and in more places.
전력 모드에 대해서는 뭐 대기업들도 그렇고 많은 스타트업들도 계속 노력을 하고 있는 부분이고 아마 엔비디아도 마찬가지로 여기에 대해서 엄청난 연구를 하고 있다라고 생각을 해요. 엔비디아 같은 경우에는 그래서 대규모 랭귀지 모델이랑 또 작은 랭귀지 모델 같은 정보를 더 적은 전력으로 이용해서 만들려고 하는 건데 온디바이스 AI를 여기다 만약에 적용을 시킨다라고 할 시에는 또 여기에 대해서 전력 효율성이 올라가는 부분도 있을 거고 에너지 시장을 그래서 발열 때문에 계속 찾고 있다라는 이야기들도 있는데 지금 당장의 이슈는 아니고 근데 계속해서 체크를 해야 될 부분은 맞다. 근데 이게 확실히 중요한 핵심 문제이긴 하다라고 하셨습니다.
시장에서 이제 엔비디아 주가 하락으로 인해서 이제 좀 동요하고 있는 상황인지 아니면은 그냥 이거 조정이다 생각하고 결국은 다시 극복을 좀 할 수 있겠다. 분위기가 좀 어떤지 궁금하거든요. 미국 좀 전문가들 사이에서.
We are curious about what the Wall Street and the economists and analysts think about NVIDIA currently now because of NVIDIA, the whole, the stock market is moving down. So how do you think it will affect the market in the future?
Well, I mean, I think we will see other companies who are involved in generative AI become a larger player. So right now, as you said, NVIDIA, their impact, just the one stock, is huge. And so I think what you're starting to see is other companies, again, all the Magnificent Seven or whatever we want to call them, of these companies, I think have a lot of opportunity. And again, AMD is I think there's a lot of interest and potential there. So I think what you're going to see is you may not see anybody get as big as NVIDIA, at least on the semiconductor side. Obviously, Microsoft and Apple are bigger from a, or they will go back and forth in terms of valuation. But I think you're going to continue to see the impact of Gen AI from many different companies, raising the value of those companies, which in turn means that NVIDIA becomes a slightly smaller share of the total. So that means their ups and downs won't shift the entire market quite as much. That's my belief, is that it will start to level out a little bit. But it could be a while, to be honest with you. I do think that there is a good 12 to 18 months where NVIDIA's, their perspective, where they are, is going to be tough for others to catch up to. So I think they have a large lead. And so in the short term, I think it will have a big impact. But I think over time, if we go back, 2 years from now, and we look back, we're going to say, yeah, okay, we start to see where some of these other companies start to have an impact and an influence. But the Gen AI itself, I still think will be important as it starts to, play itself out in multiple different areas and by multiple companies like Apple, as I said, like Google, like these other big tech names.
젠 AI의 시장 자체가 커지면서 전체적인 시장이 흔들리는 걸 조금은 막을 수 있을 것 같아요. 왜냐면 지금은 엔비디아만이 갖고 있는 AI 비중이 너무 크기 때문에 엔비디아 하나가 이렇게 흔들리면은 전체적으로 시장이 주는 파급력이 너무 크다. 그런데 이게 조금씩 그 파이가 퍼지면서 앞으로는 거기에 주는 타격은 조금씩 적어질 거고, 다만 시간이 좀 걸릴 거다. 12개월에서 18개월 정도는 걸릴 거고, 뭐 2년 뒤에 돌아봤을 때 그때 그랬지라고는 할 수 있겠지만 아무래도 시간은 다소 걸릴 수는 있다. 결과적으로 그래도 펀더멘털은 흔들림이 없다라고 보시는 것 같아요.
너무 오늘 출연해서 너무 감사하고요. 덕분에 제가 이렇게 정말 궁금했던 거를 직접 물어볼 수 있다는 게 너무 영광이었습니다.
We are really, really thankful and grateful to have you, and thank you for being on the interview for so long.
We had a lot to talk about, so
I
that's
know we
okay.
didn't expect this long, but thank you for being so long and being so patient with it.
You're welcome. 감사합니다.
감사합니다.
예, 오늘 출연 너무 감사합니다. 고맙습니다.
Thank you so much, Bob.